Hello, I'm Kristen, and today on Millennial Moms, I'm going to be telling you the 5 things I found most useful after giving birth to my daughter, Chell. When I had my daughter, Chell, it was an all-natural birth, and while it was one of the best experiences of my life, it really took a toll on my body. I'd say it probably took at least 2 or 3 weeks for me to start feeling like I had recovered even a little bit. So during those 2 to 3 weeks, these are the things that I found most useful. The first thing is a feeding journal. Now this doesn't need to be anything too fancy. I just used a plain old notebook. All you really need is a way to keep track of how often and how long your baby's feeding. One thing I do recommend though, no matter how you decide to keep track of that stuff, find a method that allows you to do a little bit of journaling too. The last feeding of the day while my daughter Chell was breastfeeding, I would write down in the journal all the new things she experienced that day or the new things she did that day. All those little milestones are so precious and so important to capture. And having a feeding journal is a really good place to capture those. The next thing I recommend is a huge cup for water. This was given to me by the hospital where I had my daughter, and any of you who watch me on my main channel know how much I love this thing. But seriously, you are gonna be drinking so much water after you have a baby, and having a huge cup like this where you only have to fill this thing up maybe 3 times a day instead of a little glass that you have to refill all the time. Very, very valuable. The next thing is gonna get a little personal, but get yourself a Perry bottle or something similar. This thing was my best friend after I had my daughter. If you have a baby the traditional way, everything is gonna be quite sore and painful, and going to the bathroom isn't the most enjoyable experience. So having a Perry bottle that you just fill with warm water, use it while you go to the restroom, it makes everything much nicer, much easier, and it's not that expensive. So get a Perry bottle. This will be well worth it in the long run. Since we've already talked about going to the bathroom, I'm just gonna continue down that road and tell you my next item, stool softener. Now, going to the restroom is probably the scariest part about after having a baby. A lot of women are afraid of this while giving birth. That's nothing. After you give birth, this process is terrifying. They should give you some at the hospital, but make sure you already have some at home for when you return, because you're gonna wanna continue to take this until the act actually happens. The next thing that I found extremely valuable after I had my daughter was an e-reader. Now, after you have a baby, during those first few weeks, many hours of your day are spent just sitting there breastfeeding. And those moments are magical, and I want you to cherish them. But there's a lot of your day that you're just sitting there. So having an e-reader, something that you can do to occupy your time, can be pretty valuable. I found that my phone was amazing for this. I just went on like iBooks or whatever and downloaded a whole bunch of ebooks. So during the night when it was dark in her nursery and I was sitting there feeding her, I could actually pull up my phone, open up a book, and read a few pages. The last and arguably most important thing is to let people help you. Please, if you have a support network around you, embrace that. Let people bring you food, let people do your laundry, your dishes, whatever it may be. You've just been through something amazing. You've been working very hard. So take a break, take it easy. Let people worry about the other stuff. You, focus on healing, focus on your baby, focus on that bond. I definitely went over 5 items, but that's okay because those are the things that I found most useful after I had my daughter Chell. If you like videos like this, give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment down below telling me if anything on my list surprised you guys, or what did you find useful after you had your baby. And for more videos like this one, be sure and subscribe to Millennial Moms. But above all else, guys, have an awesome day.